Have you been told that your baby has developmental dysplasia of the hips, but not the serious kind? Hi there, it's Neesha from My Favourite Physio. In today's video, I'm jumping in to talk about developmental dysplasia of the hips and what that means for your child. So here at My Favourite Physio, we see lots of babies for newborn baby checks. One of the things we do is we check babies' hips for developmental dysplasia of the hips. What that means is it's a condition whereby your baby's hips are not well formed from birth. There's 3 types of developmental dysplasia of the hips. The first is when your hip joint is shallow, so you have a subluxable hip, meaning the thigh bone is sliding in and out around that shallow hip joint. The second is when your joint literally pops in and out, so it is dislocatable, but it relocates when you move their legs. So that's the clunking you might hear when you try to open your baby's legs for a nappy change. The third is where your whole hip joint is completely dislocated outside of that hip joint. That means your baby doesn't have a hip to walk on, so it's extremely serious. Now, it's really important to know if your baby has developmental dysplasia of the hips, because without keeping an eye on it and treating it early, your baby may not be able to walk, and they may require surgery when they're 2 or 3 years old. The good news about developmental hip dysplasia is that we are able to treat it effectively early on with a harness. So the key to this is early diagnosis for early treatment. A Pavlik harness is placed on a baby if they have developmental dysplasia of the hips. We are looking for that hip joint to form well and give that hip joint a good coverage. So instead of a shallow head, we're looking for a deep cup to sit the hip joint in. That can be a harness treatment for 6 to 12 weeks, depending on the bone growth in your baby. But it is a treatment that can literally cure the hip problem. Left untreated, undiagnosed, you end up having a child who can't walk at 18 months old because their hip's popping in and out, or if their hip is completely out, it would be really painful and they will not put weight through their legs. To then have to surgically correct that at 2 or 2.5 years old is a big surgery for any child. So if you've got a newborn baby, you've been mentioned about a developmental dysplasia of the hip, but not the serious kind, the best thing to do is to actually speak to an expert pediatric physiotherapist. If you would like to speak to one of our expert pediatric physiotherapists, the number to ring is 02-9790-4233. And if you know somebody out there whose baby has developmental hip dysplasia, or they've been told it's a clicky hip that clunks in and out, why don't you like and share this video with them? Until next time, have an amazing day. Bye.